Welcome back, YouTube. Today we'll be reacting to scary and creepy TikToks. Let's get into the video.
Three horror movies you probably never heard of but should definitely watch. First up is a horror movie from Thailand called The Medium. This movie was so much scarier than I thought it would be, so just be ready. It's a found footage movie about the family of a spiritual medium or shaman who is cursed by all the souls their ancestors wronged in the past. The next movie is called May, about a socially awkward woman who becomes obsessed with the idea of creating her perfect friend. The ending of this movie is absolutely horrifying, and you just need to see it for yourself. And last, we have a movie about a sleep paralysis demon. Mara follows a criminal psychologist investigating the mysterious death of a man in his bed. Everyone thinks his wife unalived him, but she's convinced that it's a centuries-old demon preying on people in their sleep. I know some people really didn't like this movie, but I thought it was scary and fun to watch. So let me know what you think and follow for more.
Disturbing film you may never have heard of, but you need to watch, Part 1. Go ahead and click that follow button for everything horror and spooky. This one's called Rent-A-Pal, and I was not prepared for this film at all. This movie was referred to me by a TikTok friend, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch. I was bored, and yup, wow. This movie follows David. He's a very lonely guy. He takes care of his mom, and it's just him and his mom that live in the apartment. So he's kind of like looking for something to take his mind off of his shitty-ass life. He comes across a VHS videotape that says if you watch it, they will be your friend. It's a VHS tape geared to those that are lonely looking for friends, so he finds it very interesting. Too interesting to where he gets obsessed with it. He also starts to date around to cure his loneliness, and he does come across someone that really vibes well with him. However, when he feels that she is trying to get in between him and his friend VHS tape, things take a crazy turn. This movie is not a horror, it's more of a psychological thriller, but oddly, I was glued to the screen. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Here are the streaming services where you can find it. I watched it on Hulu. Make sure you guys follow for more movie recommendations, particularly horror, spooky, and thriller. Love you.
Ordering an iPhone from the dark web. Let's open it up. Okay, so it's actually an iPhone, and it works. What is this code? What does it mean? It's completely empty apart from some photos. Creepy photo.
This gotta be fake. There's no way I know this shit real, but come on.
I think I made a mistake for this. I don't want this sketchy iPhone.
That nigga didn't order this shit.
Creepy
Let's be honest
ghost
with you.
iPhone.
He was known as the
He
Beast
did
of
order this
Jersey.
shit.
In the middle of the
That
night,
shit capped,
he
like,
would
there's no
break
way
into
that
his
nigga would
victims' homes, wearing a pale mask with dirty hair, a long nail-studded jacket with spiky bracelets. He would plan his attacks precisely, only targeting women and children. His first known attack was at a bus station in the beginning of 1957, where he tied up a woman and dragged her to a nearby field. He then proceeded to assault her sexually. He preyed on 2 more victims in the same manner that year, but graduated on the following year when he began breaking into homes, preferably through an unlocked window or door. A 12-year-old boy woke up in the middle of the night to find him standing in his bedroom in the 1960s. Although he was never charged with any
1960s.
murders, he was convicted of 13
That's a
counts
long
of
time ago,
murder
man. Like,
and
what the fuck?
sentenced to 30 years in prison in 1971.
Have you ever heard of Megan Kenka? And if I am saying her name wrong, please correct me down in the comments. I did look up a Google pronunciation, but it's not always right.
I don't know who this is.
Megan was a sweet
What?
and vibrant girl. She had the kindest soul, and
Oh, Megan.
everyone loved her, including her parents.
I don't know who this is.
Megan was 7
No,
years
you.
old on July 29th of 1994, and she was outside playing by
1994.
herself.
Oh,
Soon,
these
Megan's
people
parents
old,
realized
bro.
that
I
they
don't
hadn't
know why
seen her
to,
in a
bro.
while, so they decided to go look for her. That's when they found her abandoned bicycle on their front lawn, and they became pretty frantic. They started searching for Megan immediately, and they got help from their neighbors, including their neighbor Jesse Timon.
Why does this feel like that movie It? The fucking clown, like, that's what it feels like. Oh, missing bicycle and stuff. What's going on here? Like, what?
Dequas. Jesse was 33 years old, and he had just moved across the street from the Kenka family. During the search, many of the neighbors told investigators that some of Jesse's roommates weren't exactly fantastic humans. Joseph Cifelli lived with Jesse, and he was a child essayer. In 1976, Joseph was charged with carnal abuse and sodomy of a 5-year-old girl, but he pled down to 3 lesser charges. Looking even deeper, another one of Jesse's roommates named Brian Jenin was also a convicted child essayer. This was enough to search the property, and so when they went into the property, they noticed that there were several cut-up pieces of fabric. When Megan's mother looked at this fabric, she said that that was the same fabric her daughter's shorts had been made of, and she was wearing the shorts the night she went missing. Both Brian and Joseph had solid alibis for the time that Megan went missing, but Jesse did not. Police took him in for an interrogation, and at first, Jesse denied having anything to do with Megan's disappearance. But after several hours of interrogation, he finally cracked and admitted that he had murdered Megan.
If you have an Android phone, you need to download this app right now. Do you know what power you hold with your fingers? You could be earning gift cards.
Get this shit out of there.
But after several hours of interrogation, he finally cracked and admitted Megan. He said that he had been watching Megan play in her front yard for several weeks, and every time he saw her, his heart would race and his hands would get clammy. Eventually, he asked Megan if she wanted to see his new puppy, and when she made entrance into his house, he slapped her and then essayed her. Jesse said he was afraid that Megan would tell her mom that he had touched her, so he decided it was best to just take her life, I guess. He then put Megan's body into a toy box and put the toy box in Mercer County Park. Megan was found on July 30th of 1994. Now to jump to part 2. Down, so just go to the comment section and you should find part 2.
Scary sea creatures found on Google Maps. A Google Maps user found a gigantic sea creature in Oki Bay, New Zealand. A huge, long, unexplained creature can be seen. Near to Antarctica, someone found a huge creature on Google Earth. This creature is 120 meters long. Some believe it may be a kraken. That is a rumored gigantic octopus or squid. A Google Maps user found this creature off the coast of Scotland. It looks similar to a massive centipede. Based on the satellite image, it's around 120 meters long.
Nice.
This bizarre creature was captured off the coast of Corfu, Greece. It looks like a mix between a dolphin and a shark. It was first seen by a man named Harvey Robertson, who was baffled. So far, experts are unable to identify whatever this is.
So let me tell you about the lady who was dead in her apartment for 2 years before anyone ever noticed. It was this lady named Vincent, right? She was in the Kingdom. Not much is known about her death at all. Eventually, the London